Hello everyone, um, welcome back to CCCS121, Programming 2 at University of Jeddah. Um, so before I move on to some new materials, um, actually before we continue with the string class, let me talk about something we touched on in our last video lecture. That is the use of the compare-to method. I think I mistakenly said that we use this to compare the size or length maybe of different strings. That's actually not true. If we want to compare the length of one string with another, uh, we we use the length method, um, which we've seen being used before. The compare to method actually does something else. It compares two strings, yes, but and like we saw, the return value is an integer, positive integer, negative integer, or a zero. Um, the comparison basically shows which of the strings, uh, which of the two strings being compared come first in alphabetical order. So basically, if those strings were like words in a dictionary, which of the strings comes first? So let me just jump in here, and uh, I'll be because I think there's a lot to get to. I'll just be copying pasting some ready-made code today to save time instead of typing everything. So let's say I have um, these four strings. Take a look. We have string S1, which is apple, string S2, ball, these two are begin with capital letters. Obviously, a word beginning with A comes in a dictionary in a sense before a string begins with the letter B. Then we have a string S3, also ball, but this one with the lowercase b, and string S4, cat. So let me just uh, use the compare to methods on a between a couple of these strings. So if I compare S1 to S2, so S1 is apple, S2 is ball, and you see the answer is -1 because apple comes before ball. For example, if I compare S1 with S3, S3 is also ball, but with a lowercase b, but a b nevertheless, so the answer should still be negative, -33. So we don't really care what the exact value is. And let's also compare S1 apple with cat. The answer should still be a negative value. There you go. And let's compare uh, one ball string with the other ball string. Let's compare S3 with S2. Now, uh, if you have identical strings, but the one that has the uppercase letter comes first in alphabetical order. So let's say compare S2 to S3. So S2 is the one starting with a capital B. It should come before S3. The answer should still be a negative value, as you can see. And if I switch these two around, the answer becomes positive. And recall that we also had another variation of the compare to method which ignored case. So if you ignore the case between ball and ball, both strings essentially become the same. So in that case, you have two strings coming at the same position in alphabetical order, and the answer is 0. The value returned by the compare to ignore case method is 0. Okay, so this was basically an addendum, a correction um, to one of the things to the compare to method as we covered it last time. Um, So today I'm going to continue with some more methods of the string method and the string class, I'm sorry. Um, so let me show you some stuff. So let me show you something slightly different. So instead of first creating a string, um, so let me show you a method. This one is called to lowercase, and as you can probably imagine, this will convert a string to all lowercase characters. If you want to see what that is going to look like, I'm just going to print that out like this. Okay, and this should give us apple in all lowercase. Okay, I can do that. I want to show you something. Can also do something else. Instead of having referring to a string um, by its handle, by its reference, I can also use call any string method on a string, on a hard-coded string, like this one, welcome. I can call it on that directly. That also works. Here you go. Welcome in all uppercase letters becomes welcome in all lowercase letters. So we have a whole set of additional methods that we want to take a look at today for the string class. Um, so there's two lowercase, two uppercase, which does the opposite, converts all lowercase letters to uppercase letters. We have a trim method. What it does is returns a new string with blank characters trimmed on both sides. So if you have blank characters before or at the beginning or at the end, a whole bunch, trim will remove all of those. Um, Replace returns a new string that replaces all matching characters in the string with a new character. You can do that with characters. You can replace entire strings. You can replace strings with strings. Replace all will return a new string that replaces all matching substrings in the string with a new substring. So we'll look at examples of that. And then there's a very interesting one um, called a split method. Uh, Another word used in other programming languages. If you want to break up a string into smaller pieces, wherever a certain letter appears, there's another word that we use for that. We also call that tokenization, so making into tokens. Okay, so I think we'll try all of these, or almost all of these. So let me jump back to the IDE. Okay. So again, to save time, I will continue to do some copy pasting. So to lowercase, saw how that works, and to uppercase, so we have welcome over here. To run this, there you go. It converts the ordinary welcome with the capital W to all uppercase letters. Then we had the trim method. So over here I have welcome, but I have two spaces before welcome and two spaces after welcome. The trim method will remove all spaces before and after welcome, like this. Output is just regular welcome. If you want to see what happens to spaces in the middle, let's change the string to something like this. So now we have one space between welcome and home. Run this, and you can see the spaces in the middle remain unaffected. Only the spaces at the beginning and at the end are removed. Okay. Oops. Let's try this one. So the replace method, if I call replace method on welcome, now welcome has, I'm passing two arguments, E, the character I want to replace, and the character I want to replace it with, capital A, for some reason. There are two E's in here, and when I run this, you'll see that the replace method will replace all characters, all E's, the first one and the last one. Okay, that's not what you want. There's also a replace first method. Again, this takes, as you can see, it takes a string as an argument. Both arguments are actually strings. So, but in this case, the string that I'm giving as an argument is just a single letter. Replace first will replace just the first copy of this string, the letter E, with AB. There you go. Web will come, and you can see that the last E is unaffected. So that's another one. And if you want to replace all instances of E with a string, or if you want to replace all substrings, so portions of a string are called substrings. So even a single letter is technically a substring of the string over here. And we have two substrings in here that match this substring given over this, the string provided in the first argument. This will replace all instances of the substring AB. There you go. And what else? And yeah, so we've been replacing strings of single letters with another string. You can also replace string of any length with a string of any other length. There you go. So EL appear at only one place. As you can see in the output, EL are now replaced by capital A, capital B. Okay. So let's keep this clean. Let me now add a new string over here that we're going to use. Welcome to Java. And there you go. Okay. So let's. So you get the idea that we can. You now know that we can call any of these methods, any of the string class. We can call them on a reference to a string object, or we can call them directly like this on the string without using any reference. Okay. Let's see, what else? Okay, so we also have another method, the substring method, that we can use to basically obtain substring out of a larger string. So let's say we have this string S over here, and I want to demonstrate. I want to demonstrate the substring method on that. So here's one way. So I'm calling substring method on string S, and say I want the string from character 8 onwards. There you go, to Java. So this is character 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the space is 7, and T is 8. So from 8 onwards to Java. I can also specify an end. So let's say I want the string from 8 to 11, character 8 to character 11. To space, let's say I want to 12, I get the day, to J's, okay? So that is all about the substring method. Not much to it, really. Okay. All right, what else? What else can I show you? Oh, yes. So then we have, let's say you want to search out a certain character out of a string. So again, I'll do some copy pasting instead of typing all of this stuff. So let's say you want to find the first instance of a certain character in a string. So I can use the index of method for that, and I want to find the location. I want to know the index of the first location of capital W in string S, which is still welcome to Java. The answer is 0. It's the first character, right? Okay. Um, and let's say I do this now for the letter X. There's no X in this string. So what do you think should be the return value of the index of method if I'm looking for a character that's not in the string? It's going to be -1. Okay. Um, I can also restrict my search from a certain starting point of the string. So let's say I'm looking for the letter O, and you can see that there's an O over here, there's an O over here. But I want the first O that comes after character 5. Character 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically from character 5, the M onwards. Where's the first O located in the string? That's what I'm going to get this way. So basically I can provide the second argument for the starting point of my search, and there you go. Location is 9, which is the second O in the string. Okay. And just like I can search for characters in the string, I can look for substrings. So let's say I want to look for the substring come in welcome to Java. There's only one instance, and it starts at character location 3. Okay. And just like I can I can start searching from somewhere in the middle of the string. I can do the same thing over here. I can, for example, I can make it look for the word substring Java starting from um, character number 5 of the string. So there's only one instance of Java, so this won't show me anything different whether I provide this argument or not. Return value will be the same. You will also notice that the search is case sensitive. So let's say if I give Java with a small j over here, see that the string contains Java with a capital J. The return value is -1, meaning substring not found. Okay. And another method is last index of. So instead of the location of the first occurrence of a matching character, the last, if you want to start searching from the end. So let's say we want to search for letter A, which occurs 2 times. If you want to start searching from the end of the string, you can do that using the last index of method. So 14 is the index of the second A over here. All right. So then we had the split method. Okay, so you can see these are lots of useful little methods. So I can call the split method. I can specify what character will be used as a separation character. So let's say in the string welcome to Java, I want to split up this string everywhere where there appears a space character. So specifying that over here. Okay, starting from the beginning, starting from 0. Okay, so the return value will be an array of strings, and I'm calling this one SA, so string array. Okay, let's say I want to print these out. Write a for loop over here for I 0 and I less than SA dot length increment print, just go through this array SA, print out each token on a separate line. Print out, there you go, welcome is the first element of that array, 2, the second is a string in the array, and Java the third one. So you can see this can be very convenient, trying to break up strings into digestive pieces. Digestible pieces. Oh, there you go. So welcome to Java. Okay, and just like that, if the let's say the the items, the tokens I'm interested in are separated by something other than a space character, so let's say a hash character. Oh. So what I did wrong here. Oh, yeah. So string s is already defined. Change this quickly. There you go. Welcome to Java. Still works. Okay. So you can choose what character is separating each token, making up the string. All right. So that's it about strings. Now, one thing we learned last time was that strings are the string class, Java string class is immutable, meaning strings cannot be changed. I told you that there are some other classes in Java that we can use to handle strings that do not have that limitation, that are not immutable. One such class is the StringBuilder class. So let's see. This is I can either provide a string over here as usual, or I can do something else. I can provide a size for how big, a maximum size for how big the string is that I'm going to store in this string builder object, how big that is going to be. Let's say 30 characters. Okay. And let's say make another one called welcome. Okay. Oops. Hold on. Oh, too much copy pasting. There you go. B0, B1, city names. There you go. Okay, so now let's print these out. System out, and we have B0 on the one hand, and let's say B1. I'm going to use this a couple of times. Right, run this. There you go. So B0 is an empty string and B1 contains the word welcome. Let me quickly show you some basic methods you can use over here. So let's say, first off, like I said, the string builder class is not immutable, meaning I can change a string. Let's demonstrate that first of all. So I can append to the end another string. So if I say append home, for example, exclamation mark here, this will append, put at the end of the existing B1 string builder object this string provided here in the argument. And there you go. So B0 is still nothing, and B1 becomes welcome home. And not only can I add stuff, uh, now not only can I append strings at the end of a string builder object, but I can also do something more. I can insert strings somewhere in the middle. So let's say B1, which is right now welcome space home exclamation point, at location index location 7, I want to insert this string, space back. And if I do that, print out B1 again, I get welcome back home. Okay. All right. So, um, so this was about strings, and started looking at the string builder class. Related to the string builder class is also the string buffer class, um, basically to have much of the same functionality. So let's see here. Yes, so the string builder class also has a lot of different methods. We just looked at append um, and insert. Different versions of insert. I want you to go through this UML class diagram, try out these methods. I'm not going to do all of them. Um, as a matter of fact, our class programming exercise tomorrow will require you to use these methods over here. So get some practice, try them out, and try them all out. And once you have them working, you'll be ready for tomorrow's programming exercise in class. So that's all for today, and yeah, sorry, I'll see you all tomorrow.